Baby, if you've been thinking about moving to the Charleston area and you've been doing your research, I need you to stop whatever you're doing right now. Because the Charleston that people were Googling 2 years ago, that city doesn't exist anymore. We're talking a 20-mile rapid transit line that South Carolina has never seen before, a 70-acre waterfront district being built from scratch, billions of dollars in road projects, a tech economy that people are calling the Silicon Harbor of the Southeast, new communities popping up in Summerville, Goose Creek, and North Charleston so fast that by the time your relocation guide prints, it's already outdated. And the thing is, none of this is speculation. The receipts are very much in order. Hey, I'm Shakima Chatman, born and raised Lowcountry local. I'm what they call a Been-Yah, straight no chaser broker and team leader of the Chatman Realty Team powered by eXp Realty. And in this video, I'm giving you the full metro-wide state of the Lowcountry. Peninsulas, suburbs, roads, transits, jobs, all of it. So you can make the most informed decision about where in this region you want to plant your roots. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm so glad you found me. This channel is specifically for people who are seriously considering relocating to the Charleston and Summerville area. Not just window shopping, not just curious, but actually doing the research, making the moves, and trying to figure out where to land. And today's video is one I've been wanting to do for a while because I keep having the same conversations with buyers who reach out to me after months of research. And they say, Shakima, I feel like every article I read is already out of date. And they are right, because this region is moving fast. So today I'm giving you the most current, most comprehensive picture of the entire Charleston metro area. What's changing, where it's changing, and what that means for you as a buyer. Stick with me all the way through because the point that I saved for last, that is the one that I think will genuinely change how you think about where you buy in this market. Before I get into the specifics, I want to give you a little context about what we're actually talking about when we say Charleston. Because a lot of relocators think of Charleston as just the peninsula, the Holy City, Rainbow Row, and the cobblestone streets. And yes, that is absolutely part of it. But the Charleston metropolitan area is actually 3 counties: Berkeley, Charleston, and Dorchester. And together, those 3 counties are home to nearly 870,000 people. That is not a small southern town. That is a major metropolitan region, and it is growing at a rate that puts it in the top 10% of the fastest growing metros in the entire country. We're adding roughly 30 new residents every single day. Every single day. Berkeley County alone, which includes Goose Creek, Monk's Corner, and the Summerville area, has added nearly 50,000 residents since 2020. That makes it the 4th fastest growing county in South Carolina as of 2026. So when people ask me, Shakima, why does it feel like everything is under construction? This is why. The infrastructure is finally catching up to the growth. And that is actually great news for buyers who know how to position themselves correctly. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Now let's start with one I think is going to reshape the entire region more than anything else on this list. South Carolina has never had a mass transit system, never. And that is about to change. The Lowcountry Rapid Transit, also called the LCRT, is a 21-mile bus rapid transit line that will connect Ladson through North Charleston and all the way into downtown Charleston. As of right now, it's reached 100% design completion. Construction is expected to begin in 2027 with revenue service targeted for 2023. This is not a regular bus route. This is a dedicated transit corridor with 60 buses, 20 stations, and 21 hours of weekday service. It's like a ground level train. Now, here is what that means for you as a buyer. The neighborhoods along that corridor, particularly in North Charleston and Ladson, they're going to see increased demand as that 2030 opening date gets closer. Transit-oriented development also follows transit investment. We're already seeing planning conversations happening around the station areas. If you are a buyer who commutes to downtown Charleston or whose family depends on getting around without sitting on I-26 every morning, this line is a genuine game changer. And buying near a station area before 2027 construction begins is a strategic position that the savvy buyers in this market are already thinking about. I will say this: if you want to talk through which communities are positioned closest to the transit corridor and what that means for you specifically, book a strategy call with me. The link is in the description. I'll walk you through it. If you've done any research on Charleston traffic, you have probably come across the I-526 extension debate, the Mark Clark extension, that $2.2 billion proposal to extend the interstate from West Ashley across to Johns Island and James Island. Let me save you some research time. It is officially dead. Voters rejected the sales tax referendum in November 2024, and the South Carolina Transportation Infrastructure Bank voted unanimously in May 2025 to end the project entirely. So it's done. Now, I know that some of you watching this were hoping the road would finally happen, especially if you're looking at Johns Island or James Island. And I understand. Traffic on Maybank Highway and Folly Road is genuinely challenging. What I will tell you is that Charleston County is redirecting focus to a list of road projects that are actually moving forward. For Mount Pleasant buyers, the widening of South Carolina Highway 41 from Highway 17 to Clements Ferry Road is a $245 million project with construction expected to start in 2026. That's a big deal for the Northeast Corridor. For North Charleston buyers, the Airport Connector Road project is starting right-of-way acquisition now. The construction is targeted for Q3 2026. That improves access to the entire Joint Base and Airport Employment Corridor. The bottom line for buyers: the roadmap of this region is literally being redrawn right now. Where you buy relative to these projects matters. And as your Been-Yah broker, I'm going to tell you exactly how each project affects each community you're considering. That's what a strategy call is for. Hey, real quick, if this video is giving you information you actually needed, do me a small favor and hit that like button right now. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who are going through exactly what you're going through. And if you're not yet subscribed, subscribe and hit that bell, because I drop new content every single week about the Charleston and Summerville market, community tours, buyer strategy, all of it. You don't want to miss it. Okay, now the next point I'm about to get into, this is the one that surprises people the most, because when I tell buyers that the biggest transformation happening in this region is not on the peninsula, it's actually in the suburbs, they look at me like I've lost my mind. But the numbers back me up completely. So keep watching. Okay, I want to reframe something for you. A lot of people come to me with Charleston proper as their target, and they treat the suburbs as the backup plan, the if we can't afford downtown option. I'm here to tell you that is the wrong frame entirely. Summerville, 24 miles from downtown, has a population of approximately 52,000 and is growing steadily. It has major employers like Robert Bosch right here locally. It has new master plan communities like Nexton and Carnes Crossroads that are winning national awards. It has a charming, walkable downtown with restaurants and boutiques that longtime Charlestonians drive out to visit. Goose Creek, which sits in Berkeley County, has grown to approximately 50,000 residents and is actively attracting younger families and working professionals. It offers some of the best value per square foot in the entire metro. In North Charleston, listen, North Charleston is in the middle of transformation that I genuinely do not think people have fully clocked yet. The Uptown development near Tanger Outlets is bringing a new AC Hotel by Marriott, 360 luxury apartments, restaurants, entertainment, and retail, all to one corridor. That is a different North Charleston than people have in their heads. Here is the buyer insight. The suburbs are not a compromise. They are a strategic decision. You get more house, more land, newer construction, and in many cases, better access to the employers and amenities that are driving this region's growth. That is not a consolation prize. That is a well-positioned move. Now let's talk about the peninsula, because there is a lot happening here too, and it matters both for buyers who want to live downtown and for buyers in the suburbs who just want to understand where the city is heading. Three major projects are reshaping what the peninsula looks like and feels like for the next generation. First, the battery extension. Charleston has been fighting flooding since before it was Charleston, and the city is finally making its biggest move yet. The battery extension is a project to expand the iconic high battery seawall around the entire peninsula, protecting it from both everyday tidal flooding and major storm surge. The Lowcountry Battery Seawall was completed in February 2026, raised 1.8 feet, new palm trees, widened sidewalks, and that was just phase one. The full battery extension project is now in the pre-construction engineering phase with nearly $4 million in new funding allocated as recently as May 2026. This matters for buyers because flood zone designations and insurance costs have been a real conversation in this market. Progress on this project is good news for the long-term value and livability of the peninsula. Second, Union Pier, 70 acres of former working port terminal right on the waterfront in the historic district is being planned as a mixed-use community. Housing, retail, restaurants, civic space, and public waterfront parks. This is still in the planning phase, but the vision is significant. What downtown looks like in 10 years is going to be shaped largely by what happens at Union Pier. Third, the Innovation District. In 2025, the city approved a medical district overlay zone to support an innovation district centered around MUSC. That is a signal about the kinds of jobs, residents, and investments that are coming to that part of the peninsula. For buyers considering the peninsula, you are not just buying into what Charleston is today. You are buying into what is coming, and that is a compelling case. Here's the one thing I want you to really sit with. All of the changes I walk you through, the transit line, the road projects, the waterfront development, the suburban growth, none of that happens without one thing driving it, and that one thing is jobs. The Charleston regional economy is not growing because people decided the weather is nice. It is growing because major employers have been planting flags here for years. Boeing, Mercedes-Benz vans, Volvo cars, SHL Medical, the Port of Charleston, one of the busiest ports on the East Coast. And now layered on top of that industrial and logistics space is a tech economy that is genuinely taking off. Charleston has over 1,100 tech companies operating locally. Average tech salaries exceed $123,000 per year. The sector is projected to grow by 20%. People are calling this place the Silicon Harbor of the Southeast. I'm not here to dispute that. The city has a new 5-year economic strategy developed by Ernst & Young and commissioned by the Charleston Regional Development Alliance, specifically designed to attract more talent, more companies, and more innovation to this region. What this means for you as a relocator is this. You are not moving to a market that grew because of tourism. You're moving to a market that is growing because of employment. And an employment-driven growth is sustainable growth. It is the kind of growth that holds values, supports infrastructure investment, and keeps demand strong even when the broader market cools. My buyers in the 500,000 and above range are coming here because their employees came here or because their employer is giving them the flexibility to work remotely and they choose here out of every single city in America. That is who is driving this market, and that is why this market continues to perform. Now, do you need to know all of this to buy a house? No, that's what I'm here for. But I believe informed buyers make better decisions, and better decisions lead to better outcomes. That is the goal of this channel. All right, let me bring this home for you. The Charleston metro area in 2026 is not the same city it was even 2 years ago. And it will not be the same city 2 years from now. A 21-mile transit line, billions in roads improvements, a 70-acre waterfront reinvention, suburbs that are outpacing the peninsula in growth, and an economy that is pulling in major employers and high-earning professionals all over the country. If you are seriously considering a move to this area, the single best thing you can do right now is have an actual conversation. Not more Googling, not more YouTube rabbit holes. A real conversation with someone who lives and works in the market every single day. That is why I'm here for you. Head to relocation.thechatmangroupsc.com. That link is in the description and book your free strategy call. I'll also send you the 2026 Charleston and Summerville relocation guide at no cost. It is the most comprehensive guide to this market that I know of, and it's yours for free just for booking the call. You can also reach me directly at 843-532-0330. Now, if you're not ready for that call yet, that is completely okay. Stay on this channel, subscribe if you haven't already, and the video I want you to watch next is right here. That video is going to answer the exactly where I should live question that is probably raising up right about now. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.